Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. I'm Ombra and today I'm gonna show you my commander guide for Legolas. Legolas is a commander of the good faction that specializes on deal physical damage, and after the rework that gain a lot of position in the tier list cause unlock a new skill for damage dealing. In the current meta it's pretty easy to find a place for Legolas cause have a very solid damage. In particular, if you can bring that to respect 10 and Ascended, you're gonna have a solid commander. If you are a new player or completely free to play, maybe Legolas is not the best choice, but for all the other players are very good. Talking about the skill at respect 4, you're gonna place 10 points on Greenleaf, a skill that inflicts 200% physical damage to 2 enemy formation in the round 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. In addition, you're gonna have 30% chance to inflict other 200% poison damage to the target you hit, and you're gonna also reduce the damage dealt by the target hit by that skill by 20% for the next attack. Then you want to assign 9 points on Dwarf Friends, a skill that inflicts 270% physical damage on 2 enemy formation. After the level 5 you're gonna gain Incursion, so you're gonna activate this skill in the round 1, 4, 7 and 10. You don't want max this skill cause you need 5 points to place on the Fair, a skill that inflicts 225% physical damage on one target around 3, 6 and 9, but also when you reach the level 5 of this skill, your commander is gonna gain initiative the next round and you're gonna have Legolas that attack first and the other commander around 4, 7 and 10. At this level Legolas is a decent damage dealer, nothing special, is not ascended, have not all the skill you need, have not a unique, so there's better choice than them of course, but if you have only them you can use in your formation. When you reach the respect 10 on Legolas you're gonna have the point for max all the 3 skills, so you're gonna have again Greenleaf as first, then Dwarf Warrior that now you're gonna max for reach 300% physical damage and also reduce the damage taken by one allied by 10% in the next round, and that is very good damage reduction. And now you're gonna also max the Fair that now it's gonna inflict 550% physical damage. At this point you have all the skill for damage of Legolas, so you are a very good damage dealer. You also respect 10 so you can ascend that to mythic. At this level you have your power spike for Legolas where it's very strong. On the final build for Legolas we have 2 options. The first option is if you play them with Gil-galad or Undying, you don't want place point on Grey Elf because you're gonna counter the evasion of the other commander, so it's pointless use Grey Elf on them. Instead, if you play them with all the other commander, you can think to run 6 points on Grey Elf for at least have 12% chance of avoid all the damage you receive. In general, what I think is the best respect for Legolas is respect 10. After the Ascension you are in your best spot. If you wanna whale that, you can bring to Zenith 1 for increase your damage, but it's not necessary for be competitive. Talking about the equipment for Legolas, damage, attack, command, focus and even troop defense are good in this order. As a weapon, the best in slot is the Axe of Khazad-dûm that provide 1430 of damage and 48 of attack. As alternative, you can think to run the Black Bow, which provide 1228 of damage and 39 of attack. It's less effectiveness of course, but it's still very good. At epic level what you can use is the Battle Axe, which provide 1014 of damage and also 18 of attack. For chess you have 2 options. You can think to run the Berserker Raiment, which provide 24 of attack, 12 of focus and also 6 of initiative, is the best in slot absolutely, or you can think to run the High Elf Hauberk, which provide 48 of unit defense, your best defensive choice. The choice you make here is also related to what helm you're gonna use for your build. At epic level the Scale Mail provide 15 of attack and is the best in slot. As for the helmet, if you choose for the armor the Berserker Raiment, you want to run the Casque of Submerged Eyes, which provide 130 of command and 48 of unit defense. That is the best defensive helmet you can have on your Legolas. Alternatively, if you have already choose the defensive chest, you can think to run an offensive helmet called Casque of Pride, which provide 48 of attack. At epic level what I suggest you is the full helm, which provide 18 of attack. For the accessory what I suggest you is the Palantir of Orthanc, which provide 1010 of damage, 48 of attack and also 6 of focus. As alternative you can think to run the Drums of Barad-dûr, which provide 610 of damage, 36 of attack and 18 of focus. It's still good but it's not like the Palantir. And at epic level what I suggest you is the Bone Talisman, which provide 18 of attack. Talking about the set effect, for Legolas the best in slot is use Smite that provide 10% more physical damage for all the duration of the battle. If you wanna run a defensive set instead, you can think to run Fortitude, which reduce the damage you take by 10%, the physical damage you take, or you can think to run Divide and Conquer or Evasive Action depending on what you need. They are more situational bonus and depend on what formation you build around Legolas. The Legolas unique is the Bow of the Galadrim and provide +6 of attack and 3 useless statistics, so in terms of stat it's not fantastic, it's not very useful strength that. If we talk about the bonus instead, is one of the best of the game, provide to Legolas one additional hit of 125% damage each time Legolas basic attack, so it's about 1125% more damage in the battle. I strongly recommend unlock this item and full refine if you can, and if you wanna use Legolas is very strong, but is not recommended strength. This item is just a move for very Kraken player. Talking about the troop for Legolas, if you pair them with Gil-galad, you want to run the Bone Knight or the Cavalry Archer, the V2 version, that are all medium unit and elf, and you're gonna use the evasion of Gil-galad for take advantage on your Legolas. Instead, if you don't run Gil-galad and you are not at the high level of Zenith for have the Grey Elf passive skill, you want to run the Ram Rider or the Goat Rider, the 2-2 version of the Dwarf. It's still medium unit but is much resistant than the elves. As last option, I suggest you to run the Guardian, a small tier 3 unit that is very good in particular versus Evil Faction, because Evil Faction run a lot of big units, so you're gonna have the 20% more damage versus big in the counter system. There's a lot of valid options on Legolas, but these are the units I suggest you. There's 2 commanders I suggest you to play with Legolas. The first one is Gil-galad, that guarantees 70% chance to avoid all the attack in the first 2 rounds, and that is very good for the elves in general, and also for the same reason you want Gandalf the White with Legolas, that's gonna reduce the damage you receive by 80% in the early phase of the game, and you're gonna increase also the damage the enemy receive from your commander by 25%, so it's a perfect pair for Legolas. A counter for Legolas is Gil-galad. It's very strong because have the evasion. Legolas deals a lot of damage in the early game because have also skill with incursion in the round 1, and Gil-galad gonna avoid all this damage. In addition, Gil-galad have a secure stun on round 3, 6 and 9, and that can counter a lot Legolas. In conclusion, Legolas is a commander that it's very good for deal damage. Is not the top of the top, is not a Dane for example, but it's close, it's very strong on damage. It's not suggesting run that at free to play if you have other option, better option than them, but it's recommended for example in a second formation of a mid spender, it's very strong. Also in a second formation of a Kraken can be very strong. That's all for this video, I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, just smash like on that and also subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Let me know in the comment what you think about this guide and also what commander you wanna see in the future. Like always, I wanna remember you have an affiliated link with the game that's allow you to buy gems from the official site of the game, and if you choose to use my link, the devs gonna recognize me a little commission of what you spend, and you're gonna support directly my channel. Again, thank you for following me and see you in the next. Woo!